Hi all, right everyone, welcome to my new video here. Right, I'm just finishing off this dress now, one of my dresses for my new boutique. Right, a little tip, I always like to give tips to sewers around the globe. Now I'm inserting a sleeve, as you can see, I'm inserting a sleeve into my dress. Always have your sleeve on the bottom. This is the sleeve there, the striped black and white there. Always have it on the bottom, because the way the feed dog here work, I call it dog's teeth, but because they resemble dog's teeth, but they are called feed dogs. The way the feed dog operate is they push the bottom layer faster than the top layer. So if you got the sleeve on the bottom, it will push that faster. That creates the ease of that going in. Now, usually sleeves will have easing going into the bodice, the armhole. Now, I actually will, you can actually do it this way by up to an inch, and it will ease the sleeve in an inch. So the way your sleeves are cut, just measure around the circumference of the sleeve and measure around the circumference of the armhole. And the difference, the sleeve usually is a little bit bigger. Sometimes when I'm cutting shirts, depending on what type of fabric, you don't need to put ease in, because the actual fabric will have some stretching naturally, some elasticity already in there. So I don't like linen. So linen stretches quite badly, so I don't put any ease in my linen shirts, the sleeves. So some fabrics you put a bit ease in as you go along. So always have the sleeve on the bottom. That will help. The feed dog will actually ease in the ease in a good way. Okay, it's a little tip of the day for you here. So I'm just going to continue now. My sleeve is now on the bottom. So I'm going to just sew this sleeve in now. I never pin it. I've just pinned this to get because I put quite a bit of ease in, because I wanted to put like a inverted pleats at the top of my shoulder, and I didn't know how much I'd actually put in. So I've just recut the top there. Let me just put this up here, you can see it. So I'm just going to go. So as we're stitching here, I do about a seam, a centimetre. As we're stitching here, the actual feed dog will actually ease it in as you go along, so you don't need to worry. And shirt makers will always put the sleeve on the bottom, not the top. So I'm going to stitch all the way around now. Try and get my chest mount. You can see it all there. So I'm just going to carry on round, and I'll get back to you when I've finished it all. Okay, so I'm just finishing off the sleeve now. Remember, put the sleeve on the bottom. That will ease in the sleeve into the armhole easily. Okay, little trick of the trade there for you. So just make sure that's fine. Now, and we don't put pins in usually anyway, so I've got no pins in, so I just pinned it up just to get how much ease I had in to put the little pleats at the shoulder. But shirt makers don't put pins in. It's not necessary, so try and get the skill of don't use pins. You don't have to. And there we have that. There we have it. Right, let's go back to the table with this now. Right, okay, so now I'm just going to press a seam. On jackets, this is what I usually do when I'm making pure bespoke jackets. For the first 2 inches either side, 3 inches down, I actually will press the seam open. You just get a nice clean finish. That's what I do. A couple of inches either side, it's fine. When you're sewing, there's tension. Let me just bring this up for you there. There's tension. The sewing actually creates a bit of tension. So I'll try and press that tension out. That's what I'm doing. And I've got an industrial iron, so it's easier for me to iron. I use my little donkey sleeve board there to put it on, so it's just easy for me. Everyone's got their own methods. I'm just showing you my methods. Let's see. That's what I do. Give it a nice clean edge. It's not too much there. It's pressed open, that's fine. Okay. So let me just get this here upside down. I've got a new chest mat, so I've got to get used to this being on my chest. But it's good anyway, you can see things what I do. So there we have a nice clean edge there. And this has been pressed open, this seam, only a couple of inches front and back, and you get a nice open seam there, and the rest of it, we get a raised edge of the sleeve showing. That's what we do on jackets. So there, and there's my little pleat in there. See my pleat, it's on the other side as well. So I've pleated it there like I've done a little inverted pleat. Gives it a bit more volume for the sleeve at the top here. It's just a little design idea. Right, let's put this back on the dummy now. Oh, before I put this back on the dummy, I'm going to now, there's my placket, you can see. Remember I was telling you, my little rouleau. See my little rouleau, little loops there. Put my new placket in. I've cut it on the bias because one of the sleeves is on the bias and the other's not. I'll explain more when it's back on the dummy. Now I've made a lining that's going to go inside. This will go all around the neck and just into the sleeve, just a few inches past the sleeve. So I'm going to just put this in now. And I've cut this on the bias because this has got quite a lot of volume, this kind of dress I've made. I don't want it to be tight inside. So cutting it on the bias ensures a little bit of give, and I'll put some little pleats front and back as well to give it a little bit more room as well, just in case. So see, I've made these little pleats there, you can see. So just give it a little bit more room, and because it's on the bias anyway, it will naturally go. It will give anyway. I'm going to do that now, and I'll get back to you. Okay, now I've stitched the lining in, and I've understitched it as well on the edge. Just give it, when you turn it through, it just sits better. Now I base this because people just leave it and they'll press it. I don't. So I base mine. It holds everything together. Even though I've understitched it there, it will hold it okay. But I may actually, the reason I'm doing that, I may actually hand stitch around the edge when I top stitch it, because I don't like too much machine stitching. Even though this is my couture stuff, it's a less line, it's a cheaper line I'm doing. I still don't like machine stitching really. So I may opt to hand top stitch it. We'll soon see how it goes. I may machine it, I may not. So I'm just basting it together now, just to hold that in place. Even though I've understitched it, it'll hold it. I'd have to press it. Okay. I'm not going to press it. I'm just going to I'll press it afterwards. But you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to hold down this neckline. So now I'll decide whether I'm going to machine it or I'm going to hand top stitch it. So I'll get back to you when it's back on the dress form.